All right. Ivan, tell us when.
I know. Yeah, there's like the springs on the outside, then I don't even know what this thing's doing at the moment.
You're live! You're live!
You smell really clean.
Fresh.
Fresh and clean. All right, we're here in the Wav Cav. I'm Jackson. We're coming to you from Berwyn Recording in Berwyn, Illinois. This is our 37th show. Thanks to Ivan and Wiley and Adventure Dwarf and our special guest, Anthony Dunn.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is like an experimental show that we kind of put together, but it's more of like a collaborative writing session that like we then may like go back to and take little snippets of and use for our own like songwriting ideas later on. I'm really super into songwriting here, and I want to ask you a little bit about your method, your style, your stuff.
My bits.
Yeah. So let's start with some of this gear. Tell us what you're working with here.
So this is just a Boss RC505 loop station. It's got a lot of things that it can do. It's a lot of fun. I usually just use it for live vocal looping, which you can use it to manipulate a lot of things and have a lot of fun with and create a lot of chaos. And it's super fun. And then I have this little guy that is just basically a piece of wood with a contact mic in it, and some springs and screws and these little guys. And that's going into the microcosm, and then that's going into the eventide space, which has a kind of especially demonic, what do they call it when they have the other tone to the reverb? It's got two tones to it. You have like a top and a bottom pitch that you can then freeze. You can either freeze the pitch, you can freeze the reverb, and it just creates this like incredible, long, crazy drone underneath everything. Yeah. Let's see. Doing something. Let's see who's doing what. The microcosm is kind of splitting it up into a whole bunch of different little fractal pieces of chaos, which is going into the eventide, which has these like all these pitches that you can dial one above, one below, or both below, like to do as above, so below. Just a good amount of fun. Amazing at spooky swells.
Oh, it's so great. Okay, so this leads me to my next question. You know, you just mentioned as above, so below. I see the demon call. I've been totally curious since I met you. And is it okay if I ask you? Are you a Satanist?
No.
No?
No.
Because I feel like there's this like strong satanic imagery when I hear your music, and I see the like the demon call patch and the as above, so below. It's like all these tenets kind of, or like parts of that.
I'm interested in sort of esoteric.
Just because you see satanic images does not mean he is satanic.
Just wanted to ask. Jeez.
I'm
Dr. Ivan.
I'm interested in Western esotericism and a lot of different offshoots of that and the roots of it. in my spare time I study it, and a lot of my art is based off of it's so complex where it all comes from. Even I view Satanism and Luciferianism as sort of like part and parcel of it, and demons don't necessarily have to have anything to do with Satan, and I don't really participate in any organized construct within that. It's more of a sort of a solo sort of expedition into the unknown weirdness. I grew up in a cult, and
Can you tell us more about that?
yeah, so basically it was just a cult that was apocalyptic, and it combined like the old sort of like books of the Bible, like so like old school Judaism with like iconoclastic Protestantism, and it was very strange. It doesn't really exist any longer, but as a result, it sort of burned spirituality out of me for a very long time. So last, I would say, like 10 years or so, I've been reading a lot and trying to open that part of my mind and body back open to experience spirituality in whatever way that means. Because I don't really understand it, I don't get it. It's something that I abandoned a long time ago. And so I find different bits from different philosophies, alchemists, magicians, chaos magicians, Aleister Crowley. I mean, they're all kind of combining a lot of different things together. So I'm going to combine things that I find beautiful and interesting and profound together into my own little thing, because I can't be a part of groups in that way anymore due to the cult. Like, it gives me incredible anxiety to be around that type of stuff. So I don't go to churches, I don't go to temples, I don't go to occultist meetings or anything like that. And, my art revolves around a lot of imagery and archetypes of that kind of stuff, and so does my music. I'm a painter.
It feels very symbolism and stuff, you know, like all of the like that. Tell us about some of the hand signals. You know what I mean? You make these cool like sigils and stuff with your hands. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so when I started out making music, I would kind of just stand there very stiffly. It's like I didn't really know what to do. Later, I went on to be in a band called Sunsplitter, and I had like one move, and that was like I was like bent over backwards like the Exorcist girl, just like screaming my ass off. And so that's all I would do. And then I moved on from Sunsplitter, and I decided that I needed, when I was first doing Terran Wretch, I was mostly just sitting down and being like, I'm focusing on the things, the audience. And as I started getting more into my readings with various occult matters and watching ceremony and paying attention to how priests in Catholic churches, what they do with their hands, and I started realizing that hand movements are very important, and they don't necessarily have to mean specific things, but it kind of shows the audience, like, here's sort of like an important part that you should feel, you know? And so I have like these sort of like gestures that I've come up with that I just really enjoy my hand being that way, you know? I can apply meaning to them should I desire, and I can also decide to change the meaning if I desire, because it's all about me and like what I'm feeling. And I'm trying to transmit to the audience, here I'm feeling something, and I hope you feel it too.
Feels very much like a ritual every time I see you perform, and even just sitting here playing with you is like, you just bring out just an otherworldly sound, and I love it. Marius, do you want to ask any questions to our friend here?
my own words just stuck in my head.
Okay. Cool. That's
and
pretty cool.
and so there's always stuff here, just kind of like rotating constantly. I get these mad earworms that just go crazy.
Yeah, I was bouncing off that, and I was doing some chanting, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is rad. Like
Yeah.
coming up with like 4, sets of 4, and like counting. It was wild.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was really
a wild
fun to
jam.
do that with you.
Mm-hmm.
I was really enjoying listening to you and then playing off of what your
Yeah.
rhythms and times were,
Yeah.
and like the sound of your voice, and then I'd go above or
Right.
below
I was
it.
trying to like not do. I was trying to hit the highs if you were going low, but I've been practicing my falsetto and tenor. So we were
Nice.
talking about
Yeah.
that, Jay.
Yeah, killer,
That was fun.
killer.
That was just off the cuff. Yeah.
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 It's like, what was that band from Germany? Is it Magma that has kind of like
Magma.
vocals like that?
Okay. Yeah. That's fun.
One of the kind of krautrocky bands has like a guy that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's fun.
Um,
Can you ask him what some of his voice, vocal, singer,
Sure. Yeah. What are your like vocal inspirations? Like, do you have?
That's a wonderful question, because some days it's one thing and other days it's another thing. I'll tell you right now that like I've been practicing overtone singing a lot,
Nice.
mainly in the
Nice.
shower.
That's so fun.
Because it sounds good in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I'm getting better at it.
Sweet.
But I'm still not great. I can't do that high whistle
Yeah.
tone yet.
Right. That's like that's totally
yeah.
a meditation, and your skull is the sound box, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why
and-
each singer is unique. It's just reminded me that each, this is our sound hole. This is our
yeah.
chamber,
I
resonance chamber.
One time I talked to an opera singer I met at Skylark.
Mm.
And I was just like, how the fuck do you sound like that? And he was like, well, you see, you turned your entire body into a resonant chamber. And I was like, helpful, thank you.
Your entire body, sure, your chest.
It was like I didn't understand it until like I started
Sounds
doing
like a drum,
when
right?
I started doing overtone singing.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
what was the first thing where you knew, first band, first singer, I want to do that thing, be part of something like
Probably a toss-up between Michael Giroff, Swans, Genesis Peorage. I really like baritone singers.
Yeah.
They always kind of like, I always sort of resonate with that sort of quality of voice right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And women like Jarbo always blows my mind with like the flexibility of her voice. And like, I never wanted to be like a singer that can only sound like one thing. I wanted to like try and be like, oh, I want to practice my falsetto. I want to practice singing as low as I possibly can. And then I'll be like, I want to practice a falsetto, but I want to only sing it like the lowest falsetto that I possibly can before it switches back into my normal voice. So I'll practice that sometimes. But the people and singers that I admire the most are the ones that they can either do one thing and they only do that one thing perfectly, and it just kind of like drones, and it's kind of like they don't have too many highs and too many lows. It's just like they're kind of like in this middle ground, and I like the kind of that brings that kind of like chant quality to it, where it's just like da 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 da. It's about the syllables rather than the notes.
Do you think that when you leave today, you'll get in your car, put some earphones on, you're listening to something? Do you think it'll be experimental, or will it be, what will be your chosen genre for that?
Right now I'm obsessed with a band called Desolation Colony, and I've just been listening to that like every day. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of industrial. It's not the most experimental thing that I've ever heard, but I really like his voice because he does a lot of like talking, and then he's just growling and screaming, and then he's singing like normal, and it sounds like there's like 3 or 4 different people singing, but it's just him.
Nice.
And so I can't stop listening to that. So that's probably what I'm gonna listen to when I get. It's what I listen to on my way out here. It's what I'm gonna listen to on the way back.
Sweet.
I get obsessive like that. I'll just go and like listen to a single album for weeks on end, just because I'm like, how did you do that?
Do you ever? I do this to people a lot. I'll be like, you've got to hear this right now, and then I play it for like somebody like 40 times,
Yeah.
and then they absolutely hate me. But
Yeah.
no, no, nobody gives me a mic. That's why you don't give me a mic.
You, Wiley, the mic. Need the headset mic.
Ivan wants to talk.
I'm talking to the box. You want my mic, Jack? I'll talk into the box. Jack, you take my mic.
As a film guy, as a film and video guy, I gotta say there was 2 moments where, for one song, I was like, "This would be perfect in a horror movie," and there was another one that I thought would be perfect in one of the Dune movies. And like if there was a chance for anybody out there to want to use like a score for a scene, for a tense scene, and then there was one moment when it was a horror sci-fi. I was like, it's just great. As a film guy, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I always put that audio behind some kind of imagery.
Bonk. I can see it. Yeah, that's nice.
I've always wanted to
You get
get
a
into
visual.
making film, but I have too many hobbies. But I have had my music used for different like short films, and I also score my friend. Too many years ago, I don't remember. They were independent filmmakers, like they were in college, basically, still, and I just let them use my music.
Can you tell us a little bit about like any of the current projects you're working on, any shows you got coming up, stuff like that?
Yeah, August 1st, I will be playing the Palace with like some like really groovy techno people and industrial people. One is a duo named Sue out of Kentucky. And then August 8th, I will be playing in Bridgeport at Abnormal House with a whole crew of weirdos.
We love them over there. They're
Yeah.
the greatest.
Yeah.
Sam, man's a genius.
I frequently work, I have a collaborator, her name is Shawnee. We do a project called Bone Lattice. She lives in Virginia now, but she has me come, like, fly out and do scores to her performances and stuff, so I get to do that every now and then. We don't have anything scheduled at the moment, but usually, like, once a year we get together and do something in some university or performing center. I got to work with her at a place called MPAC in Troy, New York. It's like a experimental media performance art center. And it was a 4th order ambisonic room, so something
Oh
like
yeah, can you tell us quickly about that? We're gonna
like
get out of here.
60
soon,
speakers,
but- Wow.
and they're all in a coordinate system in a black warehouse space, completely treated for sound, and you can pinpoint exactly where you want your sound to go in this entire room. And there's like 2 like subs on the floor that were just enormous, and you could split the frequencies of like a single synth patch, so you could have like your high sounds up on the ceiling and your low sounds on the floor, and you can run through them and sound like
we gotta
you're
do that
dropping
here.
it. Yeah, there's a couple places in Chicago, and most ambisonic rooms are affiliated with different institutions because they're so expensive. But there's a few in Chicago. They're not as big as MPAX was, but they're fun. They're really fun. You can just get really precise, and there's like a certain set of like software that's free to download that allows you to control that.
So amazing. Well, thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank
And
you.
anything else you want to promote or anything on the for our 40 fans?
We love all the fans. Thank you, fans. You're the best.
Thank you,
the
fans.
40 watchers. 10 of them are haters.
Hey.
All right. Well, yeah. See you on Wave Cave 38. Thank you to Ivan and Adventure Dwarf and Wiley and Anthony. And see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're at Berwyn Recording, and we're super into experimental stuff. So if you want to record some experimental music, you know where to find us now. All right. See you next time.